Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a beautiful Wednesday. It is the 8th of December of 2021. I am astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn. You are now joining me on Live with Lloyd, where the joy of numerology is the joy of learning and enlightenment. As you see, I have on the screen a interesting picture for various reasons, of course. This is my beautiful daughter who will be my guest in just a few minutes. But I want to tell you that right now, astrologically, in terms of the cosmic forecast, the sun is in the sign of Sagittarius. The moon is in Aquarius, but will go into Pisces tomorrow morning at 9:53 a.m. It is an 8 universal day, and it is a 7 universal month. And I ask everybody to please share, subscribe, and like. I keep forgetting to do that, so I've had to write myself a note. Before we do switch over to Keirra, I do want to, this brother here, Simon, I want to be one of the first to publicly wish Simon congratulations. Billy Carson of Forbidden Knowledge, I think that's his program or format, is going to actually give King Simon his own TV show on numerology. Let me tell you, boy, I am one of the happiest guys because I know this guy. Great author, friend. We did some hanging out, but I'll let him do that in his biography. But at any rate, I do want to wish King Simon a lot of love and happiness because he really, really deserves it. So I can't wait. So I think I'm going to have him on soon to talk about when you go do this TV show. In fact, I'm going to have him scheduled on my show on Wednesday, December the 29th. It will be the last show of the year of 2021. All right, with that, let me tell you about this young lady here. This young lady happens to be my daughter. Keirra Strayhorn Winters. I am just so proud of her, as I am all my children, to be honest with you. And she taught me a lot. She taught me about meditation, which I meditate religiously. I fell out, but my partner got me back into it, bless her soul. And then with Keirra, I now give her my report every morning that what I do. So this is no joke to me. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce this beautiful lady. Keirra, how you
Yes.
doing?
Hi.
Let's see. Okay, there we go. Hi, baby.
Hi, Dad. How are you? It's so crazy to see you like this. Oh, Daddy.
Yeah. Listen. I'm so tickled. I mean, it's so obvious, guy.
Oh,
The
my
guy
goodness.
must know her. Yes, that's my daughter. Okay, my
Yes, for
firstborn.
sure.
Yeah, my
Yes.
number 7. And today's a 7 universal day.
Yep.
Okay, that's all
Yep.
I'm saying.
Oh, my
I gotta
goodness.
ask you, honey. I'm gonna try to pretend like I don't know you, so bear with me, okay? Now, how did you get started in yoga?
Oh, wow. Dad, if you don't mind, first of all, congratulations for having this platform. Beyond words, you deserve this and so much more. And before we even get started, I have to take that time to honor who you are, honor what you've done, how much you've taught me, all that I've learned from you over the years from childhood. I might get emotional, Dad, but more than you know, you deserve this platform. And I'm just so grateful that you have it. I'm honored that you invited me to be here to share about my life and the things that I'm up to. And thank you.
No,
So
thank you, honey.
more than you know, more than words can express it. Thank you. So how I got into yoga, the truth of it really is, and how I wound up involved in any of these holistic modalities is I was working on my self-esteem and I really wanted to heal myself. And for some reason, I knew that, and this was at age 22, and I'll give a little bit more backstory about why I remember the specific age. But at turning points in our lives, we usually remember. So just growing up in childhood, I just always felt like my self-esteem was really low. And that was the case for me all throughout high school, college. It was just really bad. And then when I graduated from college, and actually I moved back home and I was living with you, I had gone out the night before with some of my girlfriends, and I had a bunch of makeup on and all of this and all of that. And I woke up the next morning and I looked at myself in the mirror. And when I walked back into my bedroom, I literally could feel my heart break. I felt such a pain in my heart because, to be perfectly honest, I felt ugly. I felt stupid. I felt a whole bunch of negative things that something inside me just knew this is not how we should feel about ourselves. I didn't want that for my life. And so that was a pivotal turning moment for me. That, I just knew I didn't want this for my life. At the time I was 22, so I thought that I would become a mom. I wanted to be the best mom I could for my children to be at that time. And I just started to work on my self-esteem. And this was, I think, in 2002. And I grew up, just I wanted, not with the, I guess in the most positive, very typical American, so I heard about Jane Fonda because my mom, used to watch those workout tapes and stuff like that. So I knew about all of those types of things. And so one of the things that I decided to do when that pivotal moment happened in my bedroom at that time was to start being more healthy. And so for me, that meant if I don't like what I see of myself when I look in the mirror, let me get rid of everything. So I stopped wearing makeup. I stopped wearing jewelry. I stopped perming my hair. And so that I stripped it all away because my goal was to love what I saw. And so I took away everything that might have been a cover up for it. So that was the first thing. The second thing is that I wanted to be healthy. For some reason, I had a connection of health and feeling good. So after I stripped everything away, no makeup, no permed hair, no jewelry, so that I could begin to see what I look like and love what I look like, and love who I am on the inside. And that was a part of this journey, but we'll get there. I said, okay, now let me deal with health. And so I started making little tweaks food-wise. And then to accompany what I was doing food-wise, there was a YMCA that was right next door, the next block in New York City. So the next block over, there was a YMCA, and I was like, okay, well, let me start going to the gym. So when I was at the gym, I saw a flyer for a yoga class, and I didn't know anything about yoga, but I saw people they had little cartoon pictures of people kind of bending over and touching their toes. So at any rate, I went to the yoga class, and it's been a match ever since. So that is how I got into yoga, and we could go from there or switch topics, whatever you want to do.
Now you definitely had you live in Philly. You used to have at one point yoga studio.
Oh, okay? Yeah.
Now I've got to ask you. Go ahead. I'm sorry. What were you?
No. Please continue. Please.
No, because I'm curious about yoga. In the sense that aren't there X number of yoga positions, and isn't there one that's the king of yoga positions and whatever the case is?
Yes. Perfect question and totally right. Okay, so 2002 was when I took that first yoga class in New York City when I was living with you. By the time I got to Philadelphia in 2005, 5 or 6, if I'm not mistaken, I had taken the first step onto this journey of internal healing that's how I recall it. That's how I express it. So, I knew I was practicing yoga in New York. So when I got to Philadelphia, I wanted to continue with that. So I literally embarked on every facet of yoga I could find: Kundalini, Hatha, Vinyasa, Bikram. And so I think those were the 4 main ones that they were offering here in Philadelphia at the time. I wound up gravitating to Hatha yoga, and I'll talk about the different lineages, as we continue on, if that's necessary or whatever. But I gravitated towards Hatha yoga. However, I will say that Kundalini yoga, it was just amazing. And my mind was blown, because in New York, yoga was a practice more of body movement. By the time I got to Philadelphia, I was understanding what was behind the surface, which is this is a practice designed to bring together the body and mind. Literally, that yoga, Y-O-G-A, that's what that word in Sanskrit, it's the East Indian language. That word literally means yoke, Y-O-K-E, yoke, to bring the two together, the body, the mind, the spirit. That's why usually when you see an advertisement for yoga, it'll say mind, body, and soul. It's to bring all of that together in the physical form that we can feel and work with. So by the time I got here to Philadelphia, that's when it got really rich and juicy, as they say. That's when I started really dealing with, I feel better every time. Yes.
No, honey. What made you choose Hatha of the 4 then?
Okay. That's the one that I first got my training in. Kundalini was and still is. And it's not like a better or worse, where your soul will know where to go. Once you come into this path and you're led, your soul will know where to take you. That's my experience. That's what it's been like for me. What made me choose Hatha was breath and body movement. And it wasn't as though Kundalini didn't offer that, but Hatha was more focused on it. And when I started to learn a little bit at the time in the studios that I was practicing in Philadelphia, so I want to be clear about that. So at the time when I started going to the Hatha classes, they would say, every time you move, you breathe. And it was just very, very easy and simple to get started and understand that, okay, breath, like the life, what the air in my lungs, if we're not breathing, we're not alive. So there was a instant connection between breath and body. And so that's why I wound up gravitating to Hatha. However, with all respect and love to Kundalini yoga, if anyone practices that art, it is an incredible practice. They focus so much on mantra work, meditation. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful practice. So I just want to make sure that I honor the roots of where I came from. Like every class that I took was a stepping stone to the next and the next and the next. So there is no what is the best yoga practice. It's the practice where your heart feels most settled. And you may go from version to version to version, from lineage to lineage to lineage, all throughout your lifetime.
That's like saying that ultimately over time you'll find your fit. Here's what I want to ask you though. Mm-hmm. How many positions are there in yoga? Is there a standard like 100 or 5, 2? How many are considered standard yoga positions?
Okay, great question, Daddy. Okay, in a standard practice, meaning what you'll probably get in a 60-minute practice, you'll get a sun salutation A, sun salutation B, Surya Namaskar A, Surya Namaskar B. those practices, literally, it's a salutation to the sun. And depending on how long we talk, we'll bring in Kemetic history. So from Egypt is where a lot of these practices hail, but we'll get there. So you'll get a sun salutation A, you'll get a sun salutation B, you'll get cat cow, you'll get usually a warrior 1, usually a warrior 2. Those are standard. You'll get a tree pose. You'll definitely get tree pose. And you know what? When I say standard or basic, because I know that that term basic is out there. When you say standard and when I say standard, where my mind goes is it's standard because it's tried and true. These are practices. These are poses that once you have these solid, you will build your foundation and start going into flying warrior, start going into full splits, and so on and so on and so forth. The sun salutation, I can stop right there. See, Dad, I will keep talking. So please let me know.
No. That I want to know is, for example, was there 50 basics, 100 basics, something like that? I mean, you didn't have to describe all of them, but I think all the initiatives starts with what I used to refer to, because I started a long time ago for a New York minute, as they say, doing sun salutation.
Yeah.
Then the lion pose, then the child pose.
Yeah.
But I understand that the ultimate of all of the yoga positions is headstands. Is that true? And why is that?
Okay. Woo. Good question. I'm gonna jump right in. The ultimate is the headstand. The way I interpret it is that when you read about that pose, not only does it require great strength and concentration, it's also a pose. Usually I'll look to the esoteric meaning of everything that I'm doing, to be honest. It's a pose that helps you connect to the source of life. So in a way where, people may transition on, you'll be able, depending on the practitioner, you'll be able to directly connect with souls. So, yeah, because I guess, I don't know if this is TMI, but, when I think of you and Mom, in my mind and in my world, in my heart, you all will live forever. So when I started, that's why I know the esoteric of the inversion and the headstand, because I want to keep you guys and keep in communication with you forever. So once I got hip to the game and started understanding how powerful this practice is, so anyway, but yeah.
Now, there are certain positions that I want to show that you demonstrated. So what I'm going to do is tell me about this one. What is this one?
Oh, wow. Okay, so this is Wild Thing, or Stargazer. And so as you can see, the body, so you're getting a back bend and you're balancing right there on that arm. So it requires strength and flexibility. And then you're leaning the head back, so it's opening up the throat chakra. And then the eyes are going to be tilted going back even further. So the gaze is up, if you can imagine it. And so that's how that comes to be for Stargazer, or Wild Thing, whichever you want to call it.
Wild Thing. Okay. I have another one where I said, when I saw this one, I said, ouch.
Okay.
Ouch.
That is a full split. It's a variation on a full split. It's a hip opener, shoulder. You can add in. See, again, once you have basic poses down, you can add in. So for me, it's a shoulder opener. It's a hip opener. It's stretching the inside leg muscles there. And you're getting a forward fold. So you're also lengthening the spine.
Is that what that does?
Yeah. That's what it can do. That's what it can do.
How long did it take you to learn that position?
Oh, wow. I remember practicing this for 3 years, 2 to 3 years. I would go, I would warm up before practice. I would hold that straddle split for 3 minutes because you see, okay, Yeah, you've got to have first of all, the lower spine. You need to have your lower spine be supple. Um, so you want to make sure your lower back is loosened up, and then to forward fold and to get into that leg extension there, the hips have to be open. So I practiced that for maybe 2 to 3 years. And I would hold that pose for about 3 minutes. Before I would practice the actual class, I would hold that straddle split for about 3 minutes to warm up those muscles.
Well, let me do the last one, because when I said this one, I would have got my feelings hurt. Okay. What do you call this? Listen, what is that you're standing on? Because it looks like it's round. Didn't it roll on you? Did somebody have to help you on it?
Yes, it does roll. Yeah, and I have fallen off of that many times before. However, this is, again, building off of a foundational pose. This is tree pose, specifically with the foot on the calf muscle. Tree pose in and of itself has at least 3 basic variations, and then you can do more things with the feet and the arms and the legs. So this was over a year ago when I was first practicing balancing, and that's a Dharma yoga wheel. So that's what that is, and it's the largest circle. They offer 3 sizes, and that's the largest one. And so I was like a baby. That was like my baby stage right there, because now my foot is up in the inner thigh where it can be. I don't want to say should. There is no should in yoga. You do what you're able to do at any moment in time.
That makes sense.
But yeah, so that's a variation of tree pose.
How long were you able to balance? Or is there a certain amount of time, 60 seconds or 3 minutes is ideal? Is there a number, or you just work with until the ball start rolling?
Yeah, you do have to, that's the core working, that's the ankles working, the leg muscles. So you have a lot going on. I can hold it, I guess a few seconds, or it depends. This one, yes, I can hold it for, I guess if you were to time me, I could probably hold it for 10 seconds. I don't want to, put anything out there, but
yeah.
I've been building off of this since I took this photo, since this photo was taken. So
you still do this, Keirra?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. This is I have a core self-practice that I practice at home, and that's another story, but my journey has been such that I've learned from so many incredible, wonderful instructors that now I've developed my own personal practice to check in with my body, to work on things that I want to enhance. And so it's been a journey. It's been great.
Now, I want to switch up because, we got time. And in fact, if there's anybody because I see a lot of people are coming into the comment section, they may have some questions. I'll try to get to that. Your second love is crystals. In fact, I have what you made for me here, which is a medicine bag.
Yes,
it's talisman. And I carry this in my pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
How long have you been in the crystals, darling?
Ooh, 2017, summer 27, late summer 2017. And I remember, I remember sitting and talking with my husband, and I was saying, there's so much chaos in the world. Not just at the time, I was like, isn't there's gotta be a way, there's gotta be a way to heal all of this, to bring love to all of it. And he mentioned something about crystals, I think. And and he told me, and I said, I think that I want to I think I want to work with crystals to bring more energy to the planet. And he said, Ross Ben, he used to have a crystal shop in Philadelphia. And I knew the shop, Philly, that Philadelphia is such a magic city when it comes to esoteric, holistic healing arts. I mean, the city is really amazing. So Ross Ben lives here. And I looked him up. I was like, right, I remember his shop. And so I looked up Ross Ben, called him, which was crazy, but I called him and he actually got back to me and he said, do you want to stop by my house so we can talk? So this was in September 2017. I for sure said yes. He was like, yeah, because I knew what I had my mind on. I knew that, for the kind of healing I felt was needed for the world, all of us, I felt like it had to be bigger than, I wanted support from the heavens. I'll put it that way. So I went to his house. We talked. It was magic. He told me all about crystals. He wrote a book as well, Rock of Ages. He gave me the book. He talked to me about crystals, and then I went back to visit him, and that's when I purchased my very first crystal from him, which I do have with me.
Do you remember the crystal stone that you purchased from him, the first one?
The Celestial.
Who?
Celestial crystal.
Okay.
Yep, and she's right here. I have her up on the screen, so I don't know if you can see her or not.
I think we can, and that's the one that Ben Ross gave you, or did you bought?
Yeah, this is the first one that I purchased from him. And once I got this crystal, it was on from there. It would not stop. And when we had that first conversation, he was so calm and mellow. And he said, they'll kidnap you. And
what was he referring to?
What he's referring to is the energy of the crystals. And once you get close to crystals and working with crystals, these are, for me, I feel like crystals are direct energy from the source. I'm going to make an effort to be mindful with my wording because, I want to convey this as delicately as possible. So crystals are directly, for me and how I feel about it, they're directly a part of the source. So once you connect with this divine energy, depending on who you are, and for him, he said that once he got into crystals, it was their world. He just, he was very connected with the crystals. Mm-hmm. Once I got this crystal, and I wasn't even expecting anything, but in our home, it's probably over 100 different crystals here. And depending on the lifestyle, depending on who you are, sure enough, it's like you won't even have to strain. Like everything will start to come and be brought to you. I have another story for how that actualized in my life, but that's like one of the main ways. That's like a delicate way to say it. We're going into real esoteric territory here. So because it's gonna be like, this young lady is crazy. Yes, it's a different level of energy. And I believe when you had Kafunya on.
Yes, that's my girl.
Oh my
them crystals.
Dad, that episode was phenomenal. When she mentioned the Moldavite crystal, it's a small green crystal, and she was doing her thing and she was talking and she said, this is from another galaxy. It's from another place. 100% correct. We are getting some energies from literally out of space. And, depending on who you are and what you already know, in your holistic esoteric studies, and if you understand about star people, so the source.
Now, speaking of the source, since you got Rock of Ages is a book. Is there another book? Because I think when I was in your house last, there was another crystal book that you used that, like your Bible. What's the name of that book?
Here she is. Love is in the earth.
What
Love is
is
in
it?
the earth.
Love is in the Earth.
Yes, this book is over 700 pages. So this is an encyclopedia. This is one of the treasures of my heart. As you can see, I have like, I don't know if the lighting is right, but there's like little bookmarks. So this book is very well loved. This book was by Melody, and it's literally an encyclopedia of crystals, what they do, how they work, the esoterics, and that's what I like the best. How will they assist you with how your heart feels? Or, you know what I mean? Like that's what moved me the most, but I'm not surprised because when I started on this path at 22, you know, I was coming from having a lot of emotional challenges. So everything in my life has been geared towards how can I feel better? How can I feel better? How can I have more positive thoughts about who I am? How can I feel better and then live that? So yes, this book is a gem. I just want to put it out there again. If you are fortunate enough to actually get a copy of this book these days,
It's hard to find. Is that what you're saying?
Incredibly hard to find,
Really?
or incredibly expensive. One of the two.
What's the name of the book again? Love is in the Earth.
Love is in the Earth, a kaleidoscope of crystals, and this is the updated version.
And who is the author again?
Melody.
Melody. Okay, good.
Yep. Yeah. So it's awesome.
Now, listen, I got some more questions for you, which is,
yes,
one of the things when you came back to live with me is that you also changed my diet. You helped me become very conscious of what I was eating. I ain't going to even say what I was eating before. I mean, it was so embarrassing.
It's okay.
But almost everything is related to diet. I'm finding out almost everything we do. A lot of even illnesses can be curtailed or reduced, if not practically eliminated, through proper diet. Except you went to the extreme, beautiful. So you didn't go. Can you tell us about that experience, please? And what would you call yourself?
Oh my goodness. These are these are all my favorite topics. These are all my loves. So raw vegan, having an alkaline raw vegan, plant-based, just to clarify the raw part. Wow. Okay, so in 2011, April 2011, I was at a crossroads again. I had already opened my yoga studio. I was financially under a lot of pressure, stress. I was still working on my self-esteem, still dealing with me as a person, not what do I do for a living, dealing with me. And so I just, I had a moment where kind of everything kind of fell apart. And I started to envision what I want for myself. What do I actually want my life to be? And I started to see it and feel for it. And surely enough, I came across a restaurant, a vegan restaurant, because what I knew, and I'll go back a little bit. I had been vegan since 2005. Vegan, if you're familiar with it, you already know. If not, it's a plant-based diet. So you're not eating any milk, butter, cheese, eggs, no meat at all, no chicken, shrimp, fish, beef, pork, none of it.
Keirra, hold on. You're saying there's a difference between being a vegetarian and being a vegan? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes.
Can you briefly just tell what the two is right quick and then continue on with vegan?
Yes. Vegetarian, the longer word, vegetarian means that you will still include dairy, cheese, eggs, milk, some sort of dairy. maybe even fish, but you know, they've classified that as a pescatarian. Vegan means you're not eating anything that, as they say, that had a mother, you know. So it's no meat, it's no dairy, none of it. So anyway, so I was vegan from 2005, but I was struggling. You know, I was struggling. I was trying to feel my best. And at this point, it wasn't even look my best, have the most money, this and that and the third, because way back then in 2002, that's why I went to a healthier path, because I knew the kind of healing I needed and wanted. I wasn't going to find it at a job. I wasn't going to find it in a boyfriend, in money, in a car. There was nothing external that was going to help me feel good about me except me. And so that's how I knew quickly to focus on things that had to do with my health, my inside. So anyway, all right. So in 2011, so I've been vegan since 2005. So in 2011, I was at this crossroads. I was lost. I was trying to figure it out, so on and so forth. So I Googled and I was like, vegan restaurant in Philadelphia. And I came across this restaurant that had also newly opened. So timing and being in alignment. So that's another thing. But yeah, I said, wow, okay, here goes a vegan restaurant, you know, a raw vegan restaurant. That was, let me be specific. Now, this was raw vegan. And I heard about raw vegan probably a couple years back. I tried it for a little bit. I didn't stay with it. I was still vegan, but I wasn't raw vegan. So when I saw this raw vegan restaurant in 2011, I said, Keirra, why don't you go ahead and give it a try? Just taste the food, see what you like. So I went to the restaurant, got myself together. I went to the restaurant and wound up meeting a woman who had met the owner. And she and I started talking. Her name was Jennifer. And she was working at that restaurant that newly opened at the time, the raw vegan restaurant. And she said to me, she said, yeah, you got to meet the owner, Beverly. That's what she called her at the time. She said, you got to meet the owner. She's incredible. You know, she does talks and she does all of this and that. And one of the things that Jennifer said that Sister Beverly said was, the universe isn't going to do anything to hurt you. And I spent a great deal of my life in a tremendous amount of pain. And to hear something like that, and I was already kind of, you know, I had been practicing yoga, so I was understanding about the power of the divine, the nurturing and the love from the source that's available for all of us. It's within all of us. When I heard that that was the mindset of the restaurant owner, I said 100% I will be back, because that felt right to me. The universe isn't going to do anything to you to hurt you. And coming from a place of pain and coming from a place of, I don't know why I'm being hurt like this, or however you want to take it, you know, or I don't know why I'm allowing myself to be in this pain. I don't know why people were hurting me in my childhood. You know, this pain that we feel, which really is the precursor for anger. But, you know, that's my thought. When I heard that, and she said that, yeah, Jennifer said, yeah, the owner was saying, you know, an apple won't hurt you, you know, and I had to think about that.
That makes sense.
Yes. Now I could pause, like, and when you look at the stereotypical diet, and I grew up, I ate it all. You know what I mean? I think the only thing I didn't eat pork when I was really little. And I guess I ate beef a little bit, but it wasn't like my favorite. And I know that you and my older brother didn't eat any pork when we were younger. So I think I was probably so impressed by that. So I followed after y'all. But let me tell you, I ate Dunkin' Donuts. I ate it all. I ate Papa John's. I ate McDonald's. I ate KFC. I ate it all. I ate it all. I used to eat it all. But when I was in a lot of pain. And what I could not get beyond was I can't stay. What I knew was I can't stay in the kind of pain that I'm in, period. That was all I knew. I could not stay in that kind of pain. So I kept going on and on and on and on. And so when I heard that was the mindset of the restaurant owner, sure enough, I went back. The second time I went to the restaurant, I met the owner, Sister Beverly, co-owner. She owns the restaurant with her daughter, Naisha. So I want to clarify because this place holds a special place in my heart. So I want to speak about them with a lot of honor and respect. She co-owns that restaurant with her daughter, All the Way Live Cafe. When I went and she and I had our first conversation, she talked to me and she said, you know, she was telling her story about how she started making changes. It was over 30 years ago, and she was pregnant with her daughter. And I said to myself, I know that when I started at 22, one of the main motivators for me was I want to be a great mom for my children. And for some reason in my head, I can't do that with low self-esteem. And I can't do that not knowing who I am and not feeling good about myself. I wanted to be able to give them the best chance in life possible. And I just felt like I wanted to be well to do that for them. So when I heard that she got started when she was pregnant with her daughter, because it meant so much to her what kind of mom she would be, again, that's when I knew I'm in the right spot. And I could share more or I could pause right there.
Well, I do want you to pause because somebody had commented and they asked you this question. Can you see it at the bottom of the screen? They says, has your daughter ever done yoga? Because I remember one time I came to see you in Philly and you were at a park. Was this the park? The park, the Wisconsin. I don't know how to pronounce the name properly.
Oh, okay. Wissahickon Valley. No, I haven't been to that park, but I have been to Bartram's Garden. And I'm reading this and it reads, I think it's supposed to be Ross Ben did a hike meetup there. He did? Okay. I missed it. I would have loved to have been. I'm so glad to know about this. No, I haven't practiced in Wissahickon Valley Park. However, I have practiced yoga and I've offered events all around the city of Philadelphia. In most areas. Can I say every area of Philadelphia? No, I have not. In many areas of Philadelphia, yes. Wissahickon Valley, no, I haven't been to this particular meetup. However, I would love to go.
Okay, so that one you haven't been to.
Mm-mm.
Okay, while we edit, I'm going to take a pause a second to let people know all the information about you, please. So can you share it?
Oh, sure. Where do I begin? So at this point, I did used to have a yoga studio. However, I've transitioned more into just, consulting, various forms, yoga, nutrition, overall esoteric healing and wellness. So you can check out my website, which is Align Your Health, ayhlife.com. And the AYH is an abbreviation for Align Your Health, to bring your health in alignment. So you can check that out at ayhlife.com. I also have an Instagram page, which is AYH Life Company on Instagram. And I also have a book. So this is the book, which is available on Amazon.
Yeah, there's the book right there.
So this is the book, and this is a raw vegan book. This book is honestly, it's great for beginners. So it has like information in the back to kind of help you understand what a raw vegan lifestyle is, how to get started. And also, I will say it's an alkaline raw vegan diet because I guess like yourself with numerology, there's a lot of nuances, and the more you practice and you know of it, and you know it becomes very, very fine. So it's an alkaline raw vegan diet. So there are foods that are raw, but they're hybrid or they're genetically modified. And so I'm not doing any of that. To the best of my knowledge and ability, that's not in the diet either. So yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm up to. And just to be super clear, like I don't consider myself like a doctor, or I'm able to consult with people based on what I know, based on tools that I've used to help myself along this journey, and I'm still on my journey. So I just want to say that, like, just to manage expectations and, you know, just have everybody feeling comfortable and understanding what I specifically do. I kind of show you what is possible. That was another thing that I learned from Sister Beverly, like just being around her so much, I learned so much. And one of the things that she said was, you have to eventually leave the teacher. And I felt like that was such a powerful thing that she said, because if your heart is in it, it's do or die. So if whether you have a teacher with you or you don't, it's either you want to do this or you're not doing it.
I feel you on that one.
That, I mean, this was my whole heart was open, you know, like, I mean, everything she said was just hit after hit after hit.
Well, I wanna hold up 1 second. I want to put emphasis on me a second. So
Okay.
I can show this book, and how this book came into being is Keirra would post this on her site, and I asked her, well, who took all these beautiful shots of the various recipes and stuff in the book? And she said she did. And I says, wow, that would make an excellent book. And about a year later, I get this book in the mail. I get this book in the mail. I says, wow, wow. All the pictures that you see in this book, all of them, every single one my daughter took. I mean, this is actually a homemade book. So yes, I'm going to brag about my daughter. It's available on Amazon.com. So I would encourage all of you to please pick up a copy. Now, I know that some of you that are not into raw vegan, but the point is you should see some of the diets. I mean, it looks like, I don't know how you came up with these things, Keirra. I mean, it's just, I mean, you got things for drinks, for beverages. I mean, it's just, you got things to make for breakfast, for lunch. You know, you got this cupcake here. I'm saying, like, wow, how do you do that? You know what I'm saying, Keirra? For somebody, don't you have to put sugar in there? No?
No, no sugar, no sugar at all. No sugar, no sugar. And I mean, even okay, so in 2011, 2012, so, okay, so I met Beverly in 2011. So it basically took a year of in-depth study, if you will, and understanding what this lifestyle is about, because she says, and she mentioned, it's not just about the food. It's not just changing your diet for the sake of eating differently. There's a meaning behind it. Like, I guess a way to describe it is like the herbs and the leaves, like dandelion leaf. Dandelion is going to grow with or without your assistance. That's powerful. And it's also a very healing herb. So when you start to understand the esoterics of certain foods and herbs, you know, it takes on a different meaning and a different purpose. So by the time I got to 2012, because I did used to eat, still being vegan, I did eat coconut sugar and agave. Now, those are still good options. It's not like oh, if that's where you are, I would hang out and stay right there. Those are good options. But by the time I got to 2012, there was no more coconut sugar, and then at all. And then by the time I got to 2015, 2016, there was no more agave. So that was done. So basically right now, my sweetener are dates. So I can either have like a whole raw date, which has been like, it's dried, so it's super sweet, or they'll do dehydrated dates and they'll make them granulated and they'll call that date sugar, but it's actually just granulated dates. So it's not really sugar. So there's no sugar at all. And that's been.
But yet it gives a sweetness to it, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes. Typical sugar is addictive. Okay, let me calm down. Dates are they're an excellent sweetener. A lot of fruit is already sweet. So, if you haven't tried dates, I would give them a try. It's different and it's new. But yes, they make an excellent sweetener.
Okay.
There's so much to cover.
Yeah, it is. It is. Now, I must say this: you do have an online course too to teach this about how to prepare dishes that are more natural, organic, even raw. How do they go to your site to either take the course or take a look at it?
Oh, the course is also on the website. So everything it's all.
What's the name of your course?
Eat Easy Everyday Raw Vegan. I think it's the same name. It's the same title as the book. I was almost like, what? Yes, it's the same title as the book.
And it's called Eat Easy Everyday Raw Vegan Recipes.
Yes.
I'm telling you, when I got this in the mail and I saw my daughter KL Strayhorn, I mean, I was just floored. Honey, I am so proud of you, boy. You rock, okay? No question.
Daddy, I'm proud of you. Look at
I said it first, okay? Okay? So anyway, I know that we got about just a couple more minutes. I'm trying to see some people. I mean, the comments are like very nice. One lady in particular, Jackie Barrios, that we know, she says great information from Keirra and enjoying the conversation. I mean, the posting that people are saying are absolutely really, really beautiful. And I mean, I'm just very lucky. This one person here says the dry bones of our ancestors are being resurrected as seen through you, Keirra, myself, and many others. So good to witness. So I think that's great. I can't thank all of you. All of you are very, very nice. Oh, somebody asked this question, dear. What about that? They said, what's wrong with coconut sugar and agave? Is that it?
Agave.
Same thing. No, it's not. I'm only kidding.
No.
What's wrong with it? I mean, were they saying it as a joke? I think no.
No. And the question is totally fine. There's nothing. I'm glad we're back on sugar. I'll just be honest about it. If you've refined your diet to the point of only dealing with coconut sugar and agave, way to go. Bravo. Congratulations. Let me just be clear about that. Typical standard white and brown sugar, there's way healthier options. Dad, I want to make sure your show stays on the air.
No, it will stay on the air, darling. Come on.
Yeah.
Let us speak the truth, okay? Let us not be ashamed of speaking the truth. Go right ahead.
Thank you. Do what is possible for you and your life at any given moment to elevate and evolve past standard white and brown sugar. It's chemicalized. It's not sugar cane. That's what the package will say. But by the time it gets in that bag, it's something completely different. Coconut sugar, it is from coconuts. Coconuts, young Thai coconuts especially, are very sweet naturally. So it is granulated sugar from coconuts. However, it's processed with heat. And with my diet being raw, which, to clarify, is plant-based foods. So this is not about sushi or anything else that might be eaten raw. So this is plant-based foods that are not heated above a certain temperature. I like to do not above 98 degrees because the body is 98 degrees. But 115 degrees, you can put the dehydrator on and you'll get it to that temperature. Coconut sugar is heated beyond that. Agave, if you get a really good quality agave, and depending on how it's processed, it's fine. It's fine. And to be fair, All the Way Live Cafe in Philadelphia, they use raw agave in their products. So again, you have to know how your product is being manufactured, what's going on with it. Like almonds, it's like, oh, I'll get some almonds from the store. They may be pasteurized. So unless you're getting almonds that are from Spain or from Italy that have not been pasteurized, that almond is it's no longer, it's raw, but it's not raw. Let me stop it. It's not raw. So.
Well, what would it be if it's not raw, then, darling, if they call it raw almonds?
It's heat treated. It's been pasteurized.
Oh, okay.
Again, to be fair, they have pasteurized it to keep people safe because I believe years ago there was some sort of outbreak with almonds or whatever else. What we do is we get imported almonds because they're raw. They have not been heat treated.
In other words, they haven't been pasteurized.
Correct.
All right. Well, honey, it's almost 8:00. So let me just put this up for people who want to know how to get in touch with my beautiful daughter. And of course, I'm partial. Of course, I'm partial to my daughter. Okay.
Oh goodness.
This is how you get in touch with her. I'm encouraging you, please, if you don't mind, please pick up my daughter's book, Eat, called A Easy Everyday Raw Vegan Recipes. She took all the pictures, and you prepared all the meals that's in the pictures, right?
Yes.
I don't know how you did that, but kudos to you. Okay.
Thank you.
Sign up for her course. You go to her website. What's the website again? It's at the bottom of the screen.
ayhlife.com.
All right, good. And Keirra, all I gotta say, honey, is hold on. I thank you very much. You know I love you. Okay, you're my girl.
Too,
all right.
What a dream.
I am so honored, and I swear to you, people. Do you know I had nerve to be nervous having my daughter on this evening?
You're the best.
Right, huh?
You're the very best I know. So
I was nervous.
Oh, Dad, you're incredible. You're incredible. If you don't mind, there's something that I want to show you. If you don't mind. So
okay, honey, go right ahead.
I just want to share with people. So this book is your book, and you can see it's in plastic because I've used it honestly in my adult years, probably since I was 22. So there are 3 books that I've used for my healing journey specifically, so much to the point that they're now in plastic because I've retired them because they're falling apart. And so here's yours. I just want you to know how much it means to me. And here's another one. The Dreamers.
Wow, that's my first one.
Yeah. Yeah, I got
my
this.
very first one. Wow.
Yeah, Daddy. Yeah, so this is the legacy continues. And then I have to, Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. This one's also in plastic because that's how much I've used it. She speaks to, in her book, um, she has written physical ailments that you're having with your body and the mental thought pattern that created it.
Disconnected. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
this to me, these three books, these are treasures. If I would really get into that. And then again, Love is in the Earth. And there's more, but time is short. But I had to let you know, Dad, how real it's been for me. You know,
Thank you, honey. Thank you
yeah.
very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, what I want you to do, Keirra, is just hang on a second because I want to let everybody know who my guests are for the week coming up. All right.
Hmm.
And on Monday, let me go blank screen a second. I'm gonna have this beautiful lady on again. Sister Iyanla Van Zant will be on with us Monday, December the 13th. And this way you can get a chance to, and in fact, she's going to be introducing her product line. So I want y'all to support her for the holidays. This will be it. And then on Wednesday the 15th, I'm going to have this beautiful princess on too, Sister Queen of Four. So between these two women, y'all can't tell me nothing coming into next week. These are two of the most powerful women that have affected more women in this country than y'all can ever imagine. That is Queen of Four and Sister Iyanla Van Zant. So I gotta say this. I'm very lucky. I'm very fortunate. And so please don't forget, Iyanla is on Monday rather, the 13th, and Sister Queen of Four is on Wednesday, the 15th. Okay. So everybody, I want to thank you, Keirra. Love you very much, honey.
I love you too, Dad.
I'm gonna call you after the show. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Let me do this. Okay, let me do this. Okay. Let me see. Here we go. Everybody, listen. Thank you. I cannot tell you how much I enjoyed this. I'm kind of glad it was over. That's how nervous I was. Okay. So anyway, Keirra, you take good care. Tell Jay I said hi. And
Oh,
thank you very much. Mwah.
Dad, I have one more thing to say. I think Lanice, my sister, one of my younger sisters, is watching. Lanice, I love you so much. Hi. I love you, girl.
Love you too, honey. You
I
take
love
good
you,
care.
Dad, so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, honey. The feeling is mutual. Thank you for being a guest on my show. I'm extremely honored. More than
It
you
was an
know.
honor for me. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Everybody, that's a wrap. That's a wrap for this Wednesday. Everybody have a great weekend. Okay. Monday, don't forget, Iyanla Van Zant. On Wednesday, Queen of Four. I am just too happy, too through. I'm so fortunate. Everybody, y'all have a blessed day. Y'all take good care. And thank you very much for all the nice comments y'all made about my daughter. I think she is beautiful too. So great minds think alike.